What is happening, people? The Liverpool Prophet back again with another video. More news to talk about. There is more news to talk about. Now, stuff is heating up. We have been promised this week, guys, ladies and gentlemen, we have been promised this week that things are going to happen. Of course, on the channel, everything Liverpool related, manager talk, player talk, transfer talk, everything Liverpool related right here. You know the drill, but, without further ado, why don't we just get into it? Let's get straight into the news because there is quite a bit to talk about today. There's quite a bit, so let's get into it, but let's go. Firstly, the ever reliable Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Liverpool expect big things this week. He put up a post saying that this week is going to be a huge week for Liverpool, and it's got all of us excited because now we're thinking, okay, along with Wirtz and Kirkes, are we also going to get that striker links that we've been waiting for? I think this week we're going to get the here we go on Kirkes. I think we're going to get the Wirtz medical, obviously, and I think maybe, just maybe, we may start to see some striker links now because we know that we need a striker. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we start to see some striker links, and I hope whoever we go for is a proven striker. I'm not a fan of bringing in someone young and inexperienced. I want someone who's proven and will bag goals for us consistently and knows where the back of the net is. That is what I want as a striker, in our striker. Now, as for who it could be, I'm not too sure, but Mr. Romano has confirmed it's going to be a big week for Liverpool, and it's got all of us Liverpool fans excited. It certainly got me excited, and the rest of us should be excited as well because it's going to be a big week. We're going to get a lot of announcements, and yeah, I'm just absolutely buzzing that we're going to have a big transfer week again this week. As for who our striker could be now, look, Gyökeres is looking more likely to go to Arsenal. By the way, hold at Manchester United. Gyökeres rejected you lot to go to Arsenal. Imagine getting rejected for Arsenal. Crazy work, ain't it? But now that the little dig is out of the way, who could our striking option be? Obviously, Gyökeres is going to Arsenal, so that's unlikely to happen. I think the main options that I'm seeing are Ekitike. He's the one we're being linked to the most. I'm not keen on Ekitike, if I'm being honest. I think he's too young and inexperienced, and I'm just not keen on him. Osimhen is an interesting one. Victor Osimhen. He is someone that I am seeing links to heating up quite a lot. If he's going to be the pick, I wouldn't have no problem with Osimhen coming in. He's a goal scorer. He gets goals. He bags goals. He knows where the back of the net is. If he's going to be our pick, by all means, go and get Victor Osimhen. Other than that, really, there's not much. Julian Alvarez is someone, he would be my personal pick from Atletico Madrid, but he looks like he wants to stay, so I don't think that's going to happen. But it looks like we're looking at either Ekitike or we're looking at Osimhen. If that's the case, it's Osimhen for me all day, every day of the week, 100%. He knows where the net is, and he's a significant upgrade on Nunes, in my opinion. Now, people will say he's unproven in the Prem, which is a fair point, but so is Victor Gyökeres. He's also unproven in the Prem, and he's going to Arsenal, so, you know, whoever it is going to be a risk because they haven't done it in the Prem. They're not Premier League proven, so whatever the striker is, whoever they are, it's a risk. It's going to be a bit of a risk, if we're being honest. So we're going to have to take that risk, unfortunately. There's not really someone out there you can look at and think, yeah, he's the real deal. The striker market is not very strong at the moment like that. So, look, they're going to be a risk whoever they are, but fingers crossed they succeed. Like I said, I want Osimhen. I think Osimhen is my preferred choice, my preferred striking option. I wanted a Gyökeres, but he looks like he's off to Arsenal. I wanted Alvarez. He was the main pick, but Atletico Madrid, he wants to stay, so it's looking like it will be out of Victor Osimhen or Hugo Ekitike, and I don't want Hugo Ekitike, if I'm being honest. I really don't. we'll see where that leads. We'll see where that leads. There's yet to be real concrete links to a striker for us. There's not really any concrete links. There's rumours floating around, obviously the usual rumours, but as for concrete actual links, there's none. There's not really any at the moment. Maybe that is more to do with us focusing on getting the Kirkes deal over the line. It could very well be, but I am expecting as soon as the Kirkes green light is given, we dip into the market and we start looking at a striker, because that's a position that needs to be. I cannot stress enough how vital that position is, getting a new striker in, and a striker that is going to elevate us, elevate that front line. It's very, very important we get a striker in my opinion. So hope FSD, I do trust them this time. I don't trust FSD, to be fair, but I trust Michael Edwards to, find the right person for us. Yeah. So I wanted to touch a bit on next season's potential title race now. I know a lot of people are saying us, Liverpool and Manchester City are dominating the transfer market at the moment. Which, to be fair, we are. We are dominating the transfer market at the moment. We are. City are. We've got Wirtz, Kirkes, Frimpong, they've got Cherky and Reinders in. So it's fair to say we're dominating the transfer market at the moment, and we are moving the most ambitious. Now, it's all setting up to be another City and Liverpool title race this next season, but the difference will be this time, rather than it being a Pep versus Klopp race, it will be a Slot versus Pep race. So something new there, something very new. But something I wanted to say is, I think this is a good thing. We're going into this next title race potentially with Slot, because with Klopp, Pep knew Klopp's tactics. I'm pretty sure Pep knew Klopp's style of football, how he was going to set the team up, what we were going to be like. Guardiola would have known all of that. He would have known all of that. The races we had with City, he would have been clued up on all of that. I think with Slot, there's not really a style of play with us at the moment. We can be defensive, we can be good with the ball, we can be attacking, we can be controlling. There's not a clear identity going into next season. We've played multiple styles this year, I think. So going into next season, there's not really a clear style that we have, that we play with. I think that's a very, very, very important and an advantage, a big, big, big advantage in my opinion. Pep doesn't know how Slot's going to go into the season. He doesn't know what type of football Slot's going to play. So Pep's going to be second guessing. He ain't going to have an idea really. With Klopp, he knew how Klopp was going to play, so he could prepare, but he ain't going to have a clue how Slot is going to set up next season and what type of football Liverpool are going to be playing. And I think it's fair to say most of the fans, us fans, don't really know what type of football we're going to be playing next season. So I think it's a bit of an advantage, a big advantage that, we're unpredictable going into next season. And, I think that could be a big key factor in the title race next year. I think, of course, you've got to probably put City as favourites purely because when they're on it, we know how dangerous they can be. We know how ruthless they can be. We know how rigid they are. We know Pep's probably the best manager in the world. So you've got to probably put them as favourites ahead of us if we both have good windows because of Pep being their manager. But us being unpredictable, I think it's a very, 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 very big advantage. And one thing I wanted to touch on this. I don't know about other fans, but I personally love Slot's cool head. I love how he's just calm, collected on the sideline, as opposed to Klopp, who is really frantic on the touchline, running up and down. And I've got to say this, I really like how Slot doesn't have no sentimental attachment to these players. I love it. He looks at them as their players, whereas with Klopp, he had a lot of sentimentality to a lot of players. Van Dijk, Salah, Alisson, Trent, he looked at them as kind of sons, and he would, it's understandable because he was here for so long, but it was also a big disadvantage because when it comes time to calling them out if they're having bad games or dropping them, he couldn't do it. He just didn't have it in him to do it. With Slot, there's none of that. We've seen it with Trent. He called Trent out straight up. He said to Trent, attitude wasn't good in the training pitch. He didn't look like he wanted it. Klopp would never have done something like that. Never in a million years. He would come out, all guns blazing, defending Trent with his life. So this cool head and this saying it has how it is from start is I love it. I love it, and it's, you know, I'm sure the players are feeling it as well. That it's a big difference to how Klopp used to manage. I personally love it. I love how he doesn't have sentimentality and attachment to these players. I love it. It puts into every player's mind that, look, we're expendable now. We can be dropped if we have bad games because the new gaffer doesn't have the attachment to us that the old gaffer did. So it's an advantage in my opinion, and I like it. It's something that we needed and we've lacked as well across the season. So yeah. But guys, I am gonna head off. I will speak to you guys very, very soon. I'll be back with more transfer news, latest Liverpool stuff, all right here soon. But remember, guys, like, subscribe, comment. You know the drill. Show some love to the channel. Liverpool Prophet, peace out. I'll speak to you guys soon. Up the Reds. Let's go.